Today I want to start off by saying, as watch collectors, we need to lighten up, loosen the screws, take a breath of fresh air, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes we get so caught up with the technical aspects of watch collecting and who has what and who can't get this that we forget that it's really all about fun. After all, the reason why me and so many other collectors are invested in this hobby is for the excitement of discovering something new, something that makes me happy when I look at it. That's why today we aren't going to focus on hype or the ROI, but instead we're going to ask the simple question, does this watch make you smile? I'm going to be highlighting a brand that certainly thinks outside the box and genuinely injects a lot of fun into the traditionally sterile watch market. The brand is Bell & Ross. Bell & Ross as a brand can be pretty polarizing. Their big, bold designs make a loud statement that certainly is not for the faint of heart. But one thing that you can't deny is their watches are just plain fun. Today I pulled a few prime examples to show off this whimsical attitude and are sure to put a smile on even the most serious collectors' faces. My first example is the BR01 Laughing Skull. This behemoth of a watch comes in at 46 millimeters and is 100 meters water resistant. However, technical specs aside, I think we both know why I picked this watch. The Laughing Skull takes the concept of a skeleton dial to a whole new level by literally putting a skull on the dial. Whether skulls are your thing or not, you have to admit it is pretty fun to look at, especially this time of year. This is of course called the Laughing Skull because when you wind it, the skull moves up and down and laughs at you. No tourbillons, no perpetual calendar, it's just a skull that laughs at you. This simple complication's only job is literally to make you smile when you wear it. It doesn't serve any purpose of high horology other than the fact that it's just fun and cool. And if we were to compare it to other famous skull watches, the RM052 Skull, you'll end up saving roughly about $550,000. So if you're looking for a statement watch that doesn't cost you one house, then you might want to consider the Bell & Ross Laughing Skull. Now let's go ahead and put it on my 6.5-inch wrist and see how it wears. Obviously this case size is large, so be ready for that if you go ahead and pick one up. Next up we have the BR03-92 Red Radar. This watch retails for $4,300, and from the name you can probably guess why it's called that. Obviously, the dial has been arranged to resemble a plane tracking radar with hours and minutes represented by the tiny little planes on the dial. This incredibly creative way of displaying time is super eye-catching and is unique to Bell & Ross. This sort of iconic tactical vibe doesn't take itself too seriously, and neither should you. Obviously, this watch is a ton of fun and something new to show your friends who have seen everything. On the wrist, this one definitely wears a little bit smaller than the Laughing Skull, but you're definitely going to notice that it's there. In a room full of submariners, you're absolutely going to stand out in the crowd if you're wearing the Red Radar. A key point I want to make here, and this goes for all watches, not just Bell & Ross, is that this is a hobby about what you like. Not what he likes or she likes or what you see on Instagram, what you're supposed to like. It's about finding your own personal joy in collecting. So don't let anybody ever tell you you have to buy something because it's the hot thing to do. Just follow your heart. If you like watches that have giant skulls on them, you do you. Oftentimes, watches like the ones that we're featuring here today get overlooked because of the never-ending rhetoric that you really need to own certain watches in order to be considered a collector or a true watch enthusiast. In my opinion, a true collector follows their heart and buys what they really want. So don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone and really enjoy what you find for you. Really quickly, I would just like to say a huge thank you to our 1.5 thousand plus subscribers. Your support means the absolute world to us here at Shreve Crump & Low, and it helps encourage us to keep making content for you. So again, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Drop us a comment, give us a like. We'd love to hear what you think about these watches and which is your favorite. Our last watch of the day looks like it literally just walked off the set of Alien vs. Predator. This is the hyper-tactical BR03-94 Multimeter. It's 42 millimeters wide and comes in at 12.8 millimeters thick. And as you can see, it has about every scale known to man on a chronograph. Inside the square case is the dial, which features hours, minutes, seconds, a date window, 3 tachymeter scales, a pulsometer, and an athemometer. Athemometer? How did you say it?
Asmometer.
Sure, okay. Now when it comes to reading these scales, I actually highly doubt that most of us would be able to use them in a practical sense. Frankly, this watch is just fun to look at, even if you aren't going to use any of those 5 scales. It adds a really cool element of design that definitely draws you in, following the little trails that each of these scales make across the dial. The black ceramic case makes this watch actually very light and wearable. It's very scratch resistant, despite it being a pretty beefy piece. For the price of $5,800, this watch is not only well built and unique, but it's just fun to wear. Now I'm going to throw it on my wrist so you can see exactly what it looks like. At the end of the day, I really want to encourage you guys to just go out there and explore brands like Bell & Ross and others that might be a little, no pun intended, off the radar. Look for the deep tracks, the watches that maybe not everyone is paying attention to on social media, and you might be surprised what you connect with. What I'm really trying to say is that as watch collectors, we need to lighten up a little bit and allow ourselves to enjoy some of the watches that we may secretly love. As always, if you like this video, please drop us a comment and hit that subscribe button. And remember that all of the watches shown today are available in our watch salon here at Shreve Crump & Lowe on 39 Newberry Street or on our website at shrevecrumpandlowe.com. Shreve Crump & Lowe is proud to be an authorized retailer of Bell & Ross watches here in Boston, so if you find yourself in town, don't hesitate to stop by and try some of these on yourself. Well, that just about does it for today's video. As always, I'm your host, Jack Tyler, and thanks for spending a little time with us here today. See you on the next one.